Alright, hello and welcome to Armored Warfare with Gorlans Army. My name is Ralks, and today I will be reviewing the T90MS Tier 9 Soviet main battle tank. Now, the thing about the Soviet main battle tanks is it's been through all the tiers, is that it has the best gun with the best damage, the best penetration, and the best DPM, with a very healthy DPM of 7,226. The hit points of the vehicle are the least of any Tier 9 main battle tank in the game, so you have to make sure you don't get shot a lot. You don't want to be taking excessive fire in these tanks. You want to make sure you pop in and out. It only has 2,500 hit points. It's got a very healthy max speed of 72 kilometers an hour, and it builds up to that speed very quickly indeed at 6.4 seconds to 32. It has good camouflage. The camouflage on the tank stays active even while it moves, so it's a very stealthy tank. Unfortunately, with that stealth, you get the worst view range in the game at 350 meters. Every other main battle tank gets 360, and the M1A1 Abrams gets 375. Now, the cannon depression on the tank is, of course, Soviet depression, so that means it only goes down 6 degrees, and it only goes up 3 degrees. The 3 degrees is an improvement over the T90, which is very, very nice. The turret traverses at a very nice 39.84 degrees per second, which means that this turret can spin around very quickly indeed, and you don't have to worry so much about lights or other MBTs flanking around you without being able to engage them. The reload time of the gun is 6 seconds with a full crew and retrofits, which is a very nice. It helps that DPM out. It also helps you make sure you're not loading back and gives you less vulnerable time after you fired your gun. The accuracy spread is very good at 0.09. Of course, that is with a full level 5 crew, so don't expect that stock. The targeting time is 2.44 seconds, which is okay-ish. It's a little slower than some other MBTs, but it's very, very workable. Now, the armor on the tank is very good indeed, with the front of the turret being 720, the side being 480, and the rear being 150. And in the hull, we have 646 millimeters of hull armor, 384 on the side, and 204 in the rear. So you don't want to sit out with the side of this thing exposed too much. Prior to 0.12, you could very easily go out like this and get shot at in the side and bounce shells because of the effectiveness of explosive reactive armor. However, with the new patch, that has gone, and so the T90MS is no longer that way, and you have to angle more properly now so you don't take that fire. The things to note about this tank's weak spots are the usual. You have a little viewport right there you can hit the lower strip on the plate, and you can hit the commander's hatch, all of which are weak spots. If you do get the side of this vehicle, you want to be shooting into this cage armor here if you have AP rounds, simply because the cage armor won't do anything with them, and it has explosive reactive all along the side, so heat is not a viable option unless you get the rear butt of the tank. You don't want to shoot heat at the rear of the turret, or the cage armor will negate it. Now, for the crew on this tank, I go with the Commander Freya, simply because she gives me an aim time buff, a reload buff, an ammo swap buff, and more module damage, which is all very, very good. We also have, for my crew, I have Spin to Win, which helps my mobility. I also have Off-Road Driving to increase my acceleration, which I find very important, so I can re-engage on the map very easily. We also have on the gunner, we have Marksman to increase the accuracy because the Russian accuracy is not the greatest. And we also have Do the Twist, which helps our turret turn faster to engage anything that tries to outmaneuver us. Now, for the ammo on this tank, you have the usual ammo choices at this tier. You have your AP, your HE, and your heat. I don't recommend heat on this tank simply because there's so much stuff at the higher tiers that just bounces it. You have cage armor, you have explosive reactive armor, you have composite armor. It's really not the best ammo in my opinion. In my opinion, I think you should carry a lot of AP, in this case 26 rounds, and some HE to reset the caps. The HE I carry right now is 10 rounds with 10 thermobaric missiles, and the reason why I don't take the other thermobaric missiles is similar to the reason I don't take any heat rounds, is because you have APS, you have explosive reactive armor, you have cage armor, and so I don't find the heat tandem warheads to be very effective. Now, for the consumables here, you know me, I like my premium consumables. I've got the medical kit, the spare parts, and the auto fire extinguisher. The most critical one, in my opinion, being the auto fire extinguisher, because you want to make sure you never, ever catch fire for long periods of time, so you will die very quickly if that happens. I've seen many tanks burn into a fiery inferno that way. I also have the medical kit and spare parts, and the reason why I carry those with me is because they give me passive boosts, as well as being able to fix all problems with my tank instantly, which is very useful indeed. Now for retrofits on this tank, I went very simple. I went with the Mark 1 Advanced Thermal Sleeve. I went with the Mark 2 Internal Hull Reinforcement and the Mark 1 Gyroscopic Stabilizers. The stabilizers help my reload time and aim time. The Internal Hull Reinforcement just increases my hit points. And the Thermal Sleeve helps my reload, which is very nice on this tank. So, all in all, I think the T90MS is a very good tank. I love it to pieces simply because it's mobile, it's able to get around the map easily, it's got the best gun for its tier in the game right now, and I'm going to go ahead and show you to that in some gameplay. Alright, welcome to the T90MS gameplay part of the T90MS review. As you can see, I've joined my friend Challenger here on the map Narrows, where Russian MBTs usually struggle a little bit on this map due to the nature of them having no gun depression and this map requiring a lot of it due to its hills. So on this map you've got a couple ways to go. You have the hill at E2 if you spawn on the southern side, where you go if you have a tank with decent frontal armor and good gun depression, which we don't have, so we won't be going there. You can also go to the 8 and 9 line if you're in tanks similar to the T90MS that don't have a lot of gun depression but have some good frontal armor. And so this is where we're going to be going. And you can see that we're being joined by a Leo 2A6 and a Romka 99, while the rest of our team goes and fights it out on the hill. You can see our M8 is taking up a mid position there on the map, hopefully to stop people from coming around the mid and getting back shots into us. Now, as we're coming up here, a thing to note is that you don't want to take early team damage, which is why you'll pop smoke early in the match, as Challenger did right there. He's popping smoke to prevent him from getting shot in the back by the B1 Draco up there. We get spotted, so I go ahead and pop my smoke to prevent any early damage. It's especially critical to make sure you don't take early damage in the T90MS, as it does not have a lot of health. It has very few hit points. And so we're going to come up here, and the reason why we went around that building we just did is because it's a good fallback position in case they had rushed really hard. We could have defended from there. And right now, since they did not rush hard, we're going to push to the right of these silos up here and try to get some shots down into them where they're holding at. And it looks like we have a Challenger 1, a T90MS, and a Centauro 120 over there on the hill. So we see a good shot in the T90MS, shoot him in the lower plate for 742, which is a good hit. And you can see here that we start bouncing the suspension. And what bouncing the suspension does is it prevents people from hitting your weak spots, like I'm doing to the other MS. I punched him one in the lower plate and one right through his viewport in the center of his tank, knocking out his breach. And what bouncing the suspension will do is make it very difficult to hit those spots. And you want to make sure the bouncing is erratic and wiggling. You don't want it to be a predictable pattern, otherwise they can pen it. Try to take a shot. We tried to take a shot at the T90MS that fleed there, but unfortunately did not get it off. But we have another chance as his buddy goes ahead and goes right through the same route, giving us the backside of his tank for some juicy hits. Fortunately, we only get one. And we also have this Challenger 1 who's trying to be cheeky to us. He's already put 3 shots into our commander's hatch. You can see they're not doing a lot of damage, but he's whittling us down, and because we don't have a lot of health, we can't afford that. So we put one good shot into the side of the Challenger. The other one's bounce because it's a Challenger, and Challengers have a very, very effective side and frontal hull armor, even against tier 9 guns. So because he pulled back, that leaves us free to pull to the right side of this tank and put more shots into his allies. We try to feather in a shot on the Centauro 120 up there on the hill, but unfortunately he gets away without us being able to do anything about it. We have a Leo 2A6 trying to side scrape out there. Unfortunately for us, his side scraping is very successful as we only get critical track damage. And what I noticed right here was that we're being flanked by a Romka 99 and a T90MS. So I turn around to get my gun pointed that way so I can counter it and prevent them from getting back shots into Challenger, who is currently working over the Leo 2A6 and the Leo 2A5, I believe, behind that tank. Now, because we're about to be surrounded and we're down 3 tanks, I decide to push out. It's very critical to push out of these kind of situations when you're about to be surrounded and you don't have as much firepower as the enemy. If you stay there and try to defend, as we put a good shot into the T90MS there for 726, if you stay there and try to defend, you'll be whittled down by more enemy guns faster, so make sure you push out. Which is hard to do if you don't have a platoon mate, because you're not as coordinated. We get shot in the side by the Challenger 1 there, as Challenger comes to our rescue and pushes the 2A6 out of our side. We see the B1 Draco all the way back there and go ahead and fire blind, which is very successful in killing him. Which is good as he has an auto loader and good camo rating. We go ahead and pump a shot into the belly of the Challenger 1. which has given us grief this entire game. And now it's just a matter of pushing this Leo 2A6 out of the way and pushing all of his allies out of the way. You can see that I took a shot at the Centauro 120 there to prevent him from getting side shots into the Challenger, who's just rushing this 2A6 like he should be. We have more guns, and we need to push this guy while he's alone before his allies can come and help him. Challenger kills him with a ram, and we need to get turned around to deal with what's coming behind us. I try to put a shot into the crab, but it's unsuccessful. Go ahead and accidentally track myself against Challenger there. Got myself turned around a decent amount before these guys came down, but I decided to repair my tracks anyway, just to make sure I don't take any more damage. I can only take about 2 more hits. One, I can't even take a hit from a T90MS if he rolls high or has experimental propellant loaded. And so you can see here, one of the biggest problems with the T90MS is its gun is not very accurate, as I mentioned in the garage. We're just putting shots into his side, and they're only going to his tracks. We have a suicidal Romka 99 who decides to rush us, and we put him out of his misery very quickly. We can't afford to just ignore him, otherwise he's on our side with missiles, and so we kill him. A good shot by the Leo 2A6 there. And now it's just a matter of killing the last 2 enemy tanks. So this turned from a very dire looking situation to a pretty good one very quickly. Challenger goes ahead and knocks out their last T90MS, and now it's just a matter of getting their last crab and destroying him. The only problem is that the crab is a very, very fast and very, very stealthy vehicle, so it's going to be very difficult for us to chase him down. We're all in NBTs. So what the team decides to do is we decide to just go ahead and cap. Either the crab is going to come to us and stop us from capping and die, or he's going to stay out there, live, and we're going to win either way. So here we are. All of us are piling into the cap. The team had really good synergy in this map. We were all working together and thinking the same thing. Now, when you go into a cap like this at the end of the map, and you only have something like a crab that's out there, you don't want to risk anything. Don't give the enemy any opportunity to reset or win the game. So you can see me hiding down in this bunker because I don't have a lot of armor comparative to the Leo 2A6, and you can see that Challenger's coming down with me. And the other T90 variants are also hiding in another bunker, while the Leo 2A6 stays out of it to spot anything that incomes, simply because he has the best armor in the front, and he's expecting the crab to come in front of him. So we sit here and wait a while. We're just going to cap out if he doesn't come back to reset the cap, and if he does come back to reset the cap, we'll kill him. So, things to note about the T90MS is it's very mobile. The commander's hatch on the top is a pretty large weak spot for guns at this tier. They're very, very accurate. And you don't want to have it penned too many times, especially with HE. HE will do a good amount of damage to that commander's hatch. Challenger goes ahead and fires off a victory round, and I join him as he does so. And you can see that also the T90MS doesn't have a ton of ammunition. And the crab comes back for a hero run. The 2A6 missed his shot. I missed my shot. Now Challenger's going, and it's just a matter of who gets to kill the cockroach now to end the match. It doesn't look like we'll be capping out today as Challenger takes the final shot and shuts him down, putting us at a very good 5,000 damage done and surviving the game. We survived the entire game, pushed well on the flank, and the T90MS performed as it should. And we'll take a quick look at the post-battle results. You can see we got the gold star, did 5,800 damage, 3,400 spot damage. Challenger is right behind us with 5,400 damage, and we earned a pretty penny of 297,000 credits. And that will be it for this review. I hope to see you guys next time.